Welcome to Dodgers Dogs. As part of the Dodgers Daily Network, Casey Porter here. So glad that you decided to tune in. Hey, fans, wanted to give you a reminder. If you have not turned on your notifications, please do. This is a busy time of year. We got a lot going on. So sometimes we throw out live videos or these videos just at times that we don't normally do, or maybe we miss our scheduled time and make up for it at a different time. So in case we do that, make sure and turn on your notifications, and that way you'll know every time we release a video. Make sure whenever we release a video, if you do like this content, leave a like and a comment as well. So wanted to give a reminder out there. I don't do that very often, but just as we get going, I'm just telling you it's crazy right now. And it's just as crazy as it is on the field. There was a lot of excitement yesterday. Matt Sauer got the ball for the Dodgers. Freddie Freeman hit a home run. You had another walkout, not a walk-off, but a game-winning hit by Aaron Bracho. I've actually had a chance to communicate with him, and a lot of good action. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get right to it, and let's talk Dodgers baseball. Matt Sauer got the start yesterday. He gave up 2 runs in 2 innings, and then he gave way to this young man right here. Not really a young man, actually a pretty well-traveled veteran, Giovanni Gallegos. We talk about these situations quite a bit. There's Cody Hosey right there who's having a good spring training. These situations all the time, we call them Quad A, meaning in between the major leagues and Triple A. Gallegos will probably spend more time in Oklahoma City than he does in L.A., if he spends any time in L.A. But he is that guy, again, going to mention it. I know I say this every time. Probably sound like a broken record. I like that right turn of Gallegos. I like the off-speed stuff. He's very crafty. He is a execution over stuff guy. At this point in his career, just reminds me of the identical situation of Nabil Crismot from last year. Nabil Crismot had some, look at that. I like that left turn right there. That is a big, big slider, curveball, whatever you want to call it. But very similar type pitching profiles, similar type experience, very similar situation. Young man out of Mexico. There's a pitch on the outer half that was hit pretty well right there, but a good catch by Zaire Hope that you saw. That was actually in the first time that Zaire Hope played. So Gallegos, I think he's a guy that probably stands at probably a better than 50% chance. Usually when the Dodgers go and get guys like this that have a lot of major league experience, they have their time where they impact the club. The Dodgers have some injuries. Look at that right turn to that. I'm assuming that's a 2-seam right there. And then a nice little get-me-over. So you saw the slider with more depth. There's the get-me-over, and then there's the one with bigger depth. So he shapes his slider a little bit smaller whenever he's trying to throw it for a strike, and then it gets bigger. You can see there he dropped one in for a strike too. It gets bigger when he's trying to get swing and miss with it. So very skilled. I do think that he stands a good chance. There's a little changeup that's turning right there in on a right-hander. I think he has a good chance at making an impact sometime this year with the big league club. He threw 1 1/3 innings yesterday. No hits, no runs, 3 strikeouts, and no walks. 4th outing yesterday was for Giovanni Gallegos, spring training, and it's the 3rd time he's gone scoreless. The 1 outing, he did give up runs. He gave up multiple runs, and so his ERA is not great, but do not look at stats right now in spring training. Not enough, unless there's like trends like James Outman's striking out like it's 60% clip. I think it's fair to look at stats and evaluate it if there's something that is just so out of whack that it needs to get fixed. But if it's like 1 outing out of 4 that went sideways and the rest of them been good, just not a situation to where that is something that I would evaluate in terms of good or bad. I think it's just incomplete, and it needs to be viewed as such. So Giovanni Gallegos, another good outing yesterday, and then another guy that I wanted to cover for his performance yesterday was Griffin Lockwood-Pal, this guy right here. He had a really, really good hit yesterday. He actually pulled his hit yesterday. This is not his hit from yesterday you're seeing, but he likes that right center field gap. Griffin Lockwood-Pal does. That's his timing mechanism, is right center. See, right up the middle right there. That's his timing mechanism. So a little backstory to Griffin Lockwood-Pal. Grew up in South Dakota, played with his brother at Lincoln High School there in Sioux Falls. And they actually led their high school team to a state title, the first ever state title in Lincoln High School history, and then made it to the semifinals the next year as a junior. He really feels like they should have won 3 games. Okay, so in between his junior and senior years at high school, he went to a baseball camp on the campus of Notre Dame University. And while he was there on the campus of Notre Dame, he got spotted by Central Michigan. Central Michigan liked what they saw, and so they decided to offer. Griffin Lockwood-Pal didn't have a whole lot of other offers, and so he chose to be a chip. So he goes to Mount Pleasant, and he plays his college baseball for Central Michigan as a sophomore. He is the MVP of the MAC tournament, and a tournament that the Chippewas won for the first time since 1995. So he helped Central Michigan, if you remember Zach McKinstry. He went through Central Michigan too. They've had really good players over the years. So he helped Central Michigan win the MAC tournaments for the first time since 1995. As a sophomore, he's the MVP of the MAC tournament. He rocks along. Senior year, he breaks his thumb, okay? Misses most of his senior year. Comes back off of that broken thumb, like towards the end of the year, and just really struggles, right? Finally kind of picks it up towards the end. But because of that period, he was already fringe enough, doesn't get drafted. So the Dodgers signed Griffin Lockwood-Pal out of Central Michigan as an undrafted free agent. And since then, they've caught him. They played him in second. They played him in left field. They've put a plan together for GLP, and it has been just fantastically successful for him, to the point to where you're taking a young man from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, who broke his thumb at a not super high-profile college baseball setting in Central Michigan and didn't have a great year, didn't get drafted. They've taken that guy and put him on the doorsteps of the major leagues. That's how good the Dodgers developmental system is. And talking to Griffin Lockwood-Pal, he will point blank tell you he owes just about everything in terms of his professional career to the Dodgers. So that's a fun, exciting story there for Griffin Lockwood-Pal. Edgardo Henriquez looked very good again yesterday. I don't like the fact that he got behind his first 2 hitters. What I do like is the fact that after he got behind those 2 hitters, he climbed right back into the count. You know, his first performance of spring training went completely sideways, which that's going to happen to him from time to time. We've talked many times that he is stuff over execution right now. I don't think he will always be stuff over execution. I think it just simply is the fact that he had to miss for the Tommy John in 2023. And so he's still coming back off of that. Former starter, moved to the bullpen. So I think 2025 is a big year for him, because I think 2025 is the year to where the Dodgers give him the room to breathe, to allow him to let his execution catch up to his stuff. He did not have any time whatsoever last year other than just try to go out there and throw his stuff, that stuff right there that you're seeing, because he climbed so fast through the system that there just wasn't any time really to designate to what I call the process. Everything last year was results oriented for him because he kept moving up level by level by level. I think personally, 2025, he's going to get to spend some time to work on the process. And when I say that, what I mean is the process of, yes, your stuff is incredible. Whenever it's in the zone, it can bully even the best of major league hitters. It is that good. So the process part of it, hey, let's go back now and not have to bully hitters. Let's be able to also out-execute hitters. And so I thought yesterday was a really good positive step forward to that. 15 pitches, 9 strikes, no walks, and a strikeout. So incredibly talented young man. And Edgardo Henriquez had he had definitely the best outing of his spring training, both in results and in process. How about this? Talked at length at Hyun-Seok Kim about how I thought he needed to get stronger. Bat speed needed to get to the point where he can beat the ball. How about that? How about a home run? I know some people in the comments have said that they don't want him to swing for the fences. They just want, with his speed, just hit a line drive, and he does seem to have lift. It's not that Ichiro, just kind of that flat swing. It's more of a lift in his swing. The Dodgers like the ball to get in the air. There's Chris Taylor, speaking as somebody who bought into the launch angle part of things too much. That is Chris Taylor, and the thing about the launch angle, as you dump the barrel on the back end and you're swinging with an upward plane to your swing the entire way through, you don't know what type of movement the pitches are going to have and any of that, so it makes it harder. It makes it harder to match the plane of the pitch whenever you actually swing. The further back in your swing you start inclining the plane of your swing, the harder that gets. So what happens is as your skills diminish at all, okay, you're having to intercept the ball, and if your skills are diminished at all, you can see a really sharp drop off. We've seen that with Chris Taylor. So that incline swing, I'm not a huge fan of it. I hope that, maybe if I slow it down, I can see maybe I'm wrong on that. But I see a pretty negative bat angle. I see lift in that swing, and I see a young man that's not strong enough to capitalize on that over and over and over at this point. But who am I to say I know a tenth of this stuff as the people that are very excited about him? But I do think still, even with the home run yesterday, he could use some time working on some different parts of his game. But a super exciting young man, and who knows, the Dodgers might start him on the 26-man roster and say, you know what, young man, let's make all of your adjustments at the major league level. We have this all-star, star-studded roster. We have the room and the ability to allow somebody like that to grow, and so why not? Let's just go do that. So the Dodgers may do that. Hey, how about this young man, one of the hottest outfield prospects in all of baseball, Josue DePaula. Opposite field knock. It should have scored, kind of ironically, should have scored Zaire Hope. Probably the two hottest outfield prospects in the game right now, but Hope fell down. I thought that was cool that DePaula hit it. Hope would have scored, and it would have given the Dodgers the lead. And get used to this. Josue DePaula is just awesome at doing that, hitting the ball to the opposite field and just staying inside the ball, letting the ball get deep, and tracking the ball. You can tell he tracks the ball by the way that he makes swing decisions, because it seems like he's always swinging at the right pitches. So I know it was exciting for Dodgers fans to get to see Josue DePaula yesterday deliver that base hit, and eventually Aaron Bracho, that we're going to get to here in a minute, got the game winner, and that was a whole lot of fun. 2 days in a row, one a walk-off, and then yesterday just a game-winning hit. Exciting action for the Dodgers learning how to win. I think I had a comment about just learning how to win. So, okay, here is another young man that stole the day for me, Chris Campos. Man, he was really draining threes with that breaking ball. This breaking ball is big. There's your fastball up in the zone. There's a nice little kind of a backed up slider backed up on him just a little bit. Throwing to Griffin Lockwood-Pal there. They have done that a time or two. Chris Campos throwing to GLP. There's a nice fastball. So you saw the fastball at the top of the zone, the fastball in the outer half. There's that nice little tight little bullet slider for Chris Campos. There is a changeup that just dives out of the zone, tunneled off that 4-slot fastball. There is a fastball that right turns to hop back over the plate. There's the fastball up in the zone to a lefty, and he'll usually try to get a lefty out with his cutter right there. That's the sequencing. See that? See how he hit the 4-slot? He hit up in the zone. He tunneled the 4-slot fastball with his changeup, and then he went to his cutter to a lefty. Just advanced sequencing, and he executed every single pitch. That is Chris Campos. That is why you should be excited about him. It is execution over stuff, and I don't say that to mean that his stuff isn't really, really good, because it absolutely is. And yesterday, the sequence we just went through just kind of goes to show you why. This is a young man that I messaged, or didn't message out, but I posted, and he found the post, and he actually responded and commented on it that he just feels like home with the Dodgers. Look at the score right there, 5-5 in the bottom of the 8th. No longer. Aaron Bracho, the winner. This is a young man out of Venezuela that plays the middle infield, only 23 years old. And I probably saw him play when he was with Lake County in the Midwest League, when he was in the Cleveland system. I don't remember it. It's like Justin Jarvis. I mean, I'm sure I saw Justin pitch when he was in the Midwest League too. don't remember it. So then he didn't play in the Texas League in Double-A. So I'm getting my first look at Aaron Bracho, and I can tell you if he's from Venezuela, first of all, he's going to be an awesome dude. He's going to be an awesome person. He's going to totally fit the culture. Venezuelan people are absolutely, I've never met one that I didn't want to be friends with. They're just that awesome people. And two, I'll bet if he's Venezuelan, he can probably catch in a pinch if he needed to as well. I'm going to actually ask him that question when I get a chance to see him. So it was super exciting to see Aaron Bracho have the game winner yesterday, and that gave the Dodgers their second win in a row. So a lot of exciting action in the Dodgers game yesterday. Again, 2 o'clock today on Sunday. Justin Robleski, Robo, gets the ball, and I'm excited about that because we mentioned in his last outing the goals for Robo this year are to be able to throw his off speed in a situation to where he's not having to rely on his fastball as an exclusive pitch to get major league hitters out. So the goal is to land the breaking balls, land them for strikes, change, not necessarily, it's not changing shapes. It's more just locations and being able to attack hitters with the breaking balls so he can make his fastball then even that much bigger of a weapon. So when you watch Justin Robleski today, those are the things that you need to be looking for in his performance. How well does he execute his slider pitch? Super excited about that. We'll have all the coverage. Probably going to have a live show tonight. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see how much time we are. Again, turn on those notifications, or time we have. Again, turn on those notifications. If we go live, you will get one, and we will go from there. So, hey, I'm Casey Porter for Dodgers Dogs as part of the Dodgers Daily Network. I want to thank you for tuning in. It's a great day to be a Dodger.